What is going on, party people? It is Spenny with Arditti. We are live to break down the Orioles, your fighting Baltimore Orioles, taking 2 out of 3, continuing their domination of the AL East against the Red Sox here. The Orioles take the rubber game 6-1 to move to 35-19 off of an awesome performance by Corbin Burnes, who continues to look better and better, as well as Gunnar Henderson, hitting his second grand slam of the season. Eric, it was a doozy. And man, in a game where you don't have Jordan Westberg, who's a little sore from taking one off the wrist yesterday, Adley Rush with a scheduled day off, the Orioles superstars that were playing were able to get the job done. How are we feeling, Eric?
Yeah, it was an interesting one. Infield was kind of, I said it on Twitter, they were kind of dry humping the ball around the infield for that one weird inning. Don't know what the hell that was. That was one where I was like, oh man, this game could get ugly. But just weird plays by, guys who are usually reliable. Don't know what that was, but just a kind of a blip on the radar. And then again, I wake up every morning and I thank our Lord and Savior, Gunnar Henderson, for Gunnar Henderson. It's crazy because they're the same person. Again, I mean, he got that sweeper, and I know you had those stats the other night. It may have been like 4 a.m., 3:30 a.m., I think. About Gunnar and the sweepers, but he smoked that ball. That was right there for him, right on a tee. And I mean, he has a gorgeous swing, and he didn't miss it. That was all the offense they needed. Again, Corbin Burnes, this was kind of like we kind of need you to sack up here. And I was ready for it. And again, I know you've been not chirping back, but you've been letting the people know, like, he's on pace for, I think, his most, innings ever. And they're trying to save him for
Should be on pace for about 220 innings now, maybe 219 right around there, which would be a career high for him this year.
Yeah, and that's a lot of innings. I mean, we probably haven't seen that out of an Oriole in a long, long time. But this is one where I was like, I need you into the 7th, Corbin. I need you to, again, low 90s on the pitch count, I believe it was. Like, be a man. Like, go show us the ace. Go show us the stuff while you're here. And he did exactly that. He kind of struggled early on in that 7th inning, and then he got the K to end it, and gave it a fist pump. And I think everyone on their couch, same bull nail. And then, man, that Ramon ball, did they put in like a 2019 Gleyber Torres juiced baseball there? I'm like, that's a pop fly.
Sliced, like, had like an over the top little like lightsaber swing on that one. It was like a wiffle ball swing, and that ball just popped. I mean, it carried out there really far. I mean, I think it was like 414, which is no joke. And yeah, Ramon continues to destroy the Red Sox. Going into this one, I think he had a 922 OPS. So he has just been a Red Sox killer. 344 average against the Red Sox in his lifetime. So gives Westy the day off and provides a little oomph. Got it going a little bit there too with the first RBI of the game.
Yeah, good for him. Again, people kind of forget he's on the team, and it is nice to see him contribute. And again, that probably his numbers against the Red Sox, even though you don't know how bad he'd had against Cutter Crawford, but that probably helped Hyde make his decision on sitting Westy, obviously where he got hit yesterday, and give him and Adley 2 days off going into, again, this brutal stretch of just not only tons of games in a row, but they're pretty good teams. I mean, the Rays are the Rays, but they're not having their best year. But get him 2 days off, and then we'll get him clicking and going. Hopefully he can keep hitting and go from there. But it was just kind of a weird win. Like, they didn't, no real threats by the Red Sox. That lineup too is just so blah. The Red Sox, like, they don't, outside of Devers and some of those other guys, I don't know, they don't really move the needle for you.
They have a bunch of like slap hitters that kind of,
they're
kind of like the G League Orioles in a way. I mean, they're a solid gritty team, but they've got a lot of like 260 hitters that are kind of athletic and have like a little bit of pop, but a pretty athletic lineup there. They don't have the softball beer league sluggers. I mean, Devers is obviously a freak, goes 4 for 5 yesterday, starts 4 for 4. Awesome game there, but they just don't have the juice in the bats to really threaten you as a legitimate contender in my eyes.
Yeah, and again, their pitching's good. Their pitching's fine. It's much better than any of us thought they would be. But again, this was a series where not to be cliche, but you have to win 2 out of 3. Again, especially the way they handled the White Sox, like the bats were kind of humming, and they seem to have everything going. And yesterday's game was just. Again, I mean, we saw it where the people were kind of losing their mind and being like, "Oh, they're back." This is I saw some guy who was like, "Their typical Grayson start." It's like, yeah, you gave up 4 runs. Like, that's okay.
He bounced back. He bounced back really well. That was awesome to see. And someone that I
Mm-hmm.
think last year as a rookie was really emotional in those difficult starts and struggled to bounce back at times. He would be able to get some Ks and things like that, but just felt like he emotionally would get really, really, really high and hot and not able to calm back down. I was really impressed by him yesterday in that game. Of course, it gets out of hand with the Keegan Aiken home run, but I loved what I saw from Grayson. Bouncing back after those 2 innings, 4 innings of shutout ball to rebound after having a tough couple innings is awesome. And being able to buckle back down and make adjustments, you could see him in the dugout going to the iPads and doing all those kinds of things. Jeremy Vargrant here says, yeah, Grayson ended up with 10 strikeouts, a career high, despite that really crappy start. So I thought that was really, really, I think that's important. Those kinds of games I think are important in the development of a young pitcher like Grayson, who had his cake and ate it too for a long time in the minors, and then had that rough start last year. So you want to see him continue to overcome adversity. Had a tough, go late in the year and into the playoffs and things like that. So you want him to be able to focus on dialing in, focusing, and being able to reach back and rein it back in when needed to prevent the Orioles from having to go into their bullpen early and, have a 3-inning start or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, again, he gave them a chance to win that. He gave them a chance to stay in that game, and it's exactly what he did. Like,
It kept them in the game.
Yeah, 100%. And again, that's one where you mentioned it. Hy talked about it last night. That's a game that last year could have unraveled, and then he gives up 7 earned runs, and then you're into your bullpen, 3 1/3 inning from Grayson, and it's like, all right, well, here's where you use, your long guy, and then you probably have to make another move, and he didn't let that happen, and same thing, Corbin tonight. I mean, that's big to save the bullpen, and it does suck that they got the second time I'm going to say it, but dry hump, they get Kimbrel up there, when he's not throwing. That's not exactly what you want in a 6-1 game, but again, save the bullpen, and especially with the off day tomorrow, that's big. And again, these guys need every off day they can, and if they can not warm up or not have to throw pitches, that's great. But again, just a weird, I don't know, the Memorial Day game almost just felt like a video game, like just the way that they handled that and won that. Yeah, it was a good series. Again, I'll take that any day of the week. Again, win 2 out of 3. The Yankees are on the West Coast. That loss last night was big. So when you wake up tomorrow, the Orioles theoretically could be a half game back. And again, even though the season ended last Wednesday after the sweep streak was over, it just sucks that they're not really playing for anything. That's what I was told. But again, thank God for Gunnar Henderson, because that guy, the Yak Boys, ever since going on Friday, are they are putting up some numbers.
Definitely. And wanted to make that the tide turning play of the week. Gunnar Henderson's grand slam, his second of the season, a no-doubter, 30 out of 30 ballparks here. And man, it was a cutter from a guy named Cutter, if you want to put it that way. It might have been a sweeper, what have you. But boy, oh boy, did Gunnar Henderson get a hold of this baseball and send it out to give the Orioles a massive lead.
That's well struck. Right field. You can watch this one sail out of here.
I mean, that was no short portion right there. That was to the power alley. He gets a hold of it, and man, on breaking balls, on off-speed, stuff like that, the crowd is just electrified. And it felt in that at-bat like
a majestic drive that
Gunnar
off the bat
was ready to break out there. The bat flip, so sexy, all of it. It just felt like it was going to happen. And what an inning that was. Starts with a hit by pitch. Anthony Santander able to get a single there, slap a single, who's looked way better at the plate the last couple of weeks. And then after Mullins and Mateo go down, Ramon Arias gets that clutch single. I think that was in the first pitch. It was a high fastball and just smacked it right back into play. Drives in a run there. James McCann able to draw. I think was that his first walk of the season? I think the broadcast had it. First walk of the season against an AL East opponent. And then Gunnar Henderson hits his league lead tying 18th home run, his second grand slam of the year. And I'm going to go ahead and again, that was the tide turning play of the week presented by Clipper City. Go check them out at 1716 Thames Street for all your men's grooming needs. Gunnar Henderson turned the tide. You can turn the tide with a sick haircut if you're looking to feel a little bit better there. So tide turning play of the week, but I have been talking a lot of smack about Gunnar Henderson. I've done a little bit of it in our group text, but a lot of smack maybe to my friends about Gunnar hitting leadoff. And especially this month where I tweeted it earlier, he's been hitting less, but he's been walking more. So he's been getting on base more than he was even when he was hitting 280 in April. So, whatever. If you want him to hit more, sure, whatever. I don't feel the need to argue about that. But if he is kind of hitting a little less and maybe seeing more pitches and kind of getting pitched around, maybe you want to see Westy. Maybe you want to see, I don't know, a Cowser, Adley thrown to the leadoff, move him down in the lineup. I have now talked smack pretty heavily to my friends, my little Orioles group text that I have of just buddies twice. And both times he has hit a bottom of the lineup home run with guys on base to bring guys home. I had the 2-run home run the other day and then the grand slam, obviously. So Brandon Hyde gets paid to manage baseball teams. I do not get paid to do that. So I'll give them their flowers for maintaining in the bottom of the lineup, which has been very feisty, very spunky. Jorge Mateo has some good at bat, draws a walk in this one. Mullins, you do feel for, he looked like shit for the vast majority of the season so far. He's been hitting the ball a little bit better, putting balls in play. The broadcast talked about it like 15 times. He has the foul ball that barely goes out by like 5-6 feet from hitting the pole. You feel like he's about to turn the corner maybe a little bit and get into a hotter streak. Obviously such a streaky hitter over the course of his career, but those guys have been producing quality at bats. I think Cowser's looked a little bit better despite maybe not the numbers quite being there, but productive at bats, getting on base, not looking like, 3 blind mice, which they did a couple weeks ago at times at the bottom of the lineup. And it's awesome to see. And then Gunnar, that was really the play of the series, right? Gunnar just absolute blast off to, again, do it on a day where Adley and Jordan Westberg are not in the lineup and getting it done.
Yeah. And again, I'm still looking at the box score now. Gunnar's OPS of 938 is just like laugh out loud funny. Like I saw your tweets about like here he is and he's hitting 215 or whatever in May, and what his OPS was like
860. I think his OPS was 867 while he's hitting like 215 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's crazy. And again, it was nice to see Mountcastle in the 2-hole. He's climbing back up to 300. He's sitting there at 283. But yeah, again, only 6 hits. So they it's not like they were really slapping the ball all around. Like we said, they kind of just had the one inning and they were able to make some stuff happen. And again, thank God Gunnar came up there. But again, 2 from Mountie, 1 from Henderson, Santander, the one. And again, he's had good at bats and he hasn't looked as lost as he did a couple weeks ago. So again, you got to hope that he's coming around. Same thing with Mullins. Mullins, he had the triple on Monday. And then again, he had the one robbed from him last night. I thought that was going to drop. And he kind of got, I think it was him though, but somebody was like, now people know what it's like. Now Cedric Mullins knows what it's like to hit against Cedric Mullins, because that's a play that he would have made. And then again, you're Ramon 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. So hit by pitch. And again, they drew 2 walks, Mateo with 1 and McCann with 1. Probably if you were looking at betting odds, probably the 2 guys who would have the lowest odds to draw a walk there. But and then again, the guy JCM 54th game, so we're a third of the way through, which is crazy. It doesn't seem like that. They're still on pace to win 105. That will probably win you the division. Again, you're kind of seeing the Yankees cool off a little bit now, and then again, Gunnar on pace to hit 54. So somebody else talked about, I forget who, but they were like, we've seen prime Chris Davis. Chris Davis is as good. He was top 3 MVP that year. Gunnar could finish with more home runs than him than he had in that year, which is incredible to think about. A 22-year-old shortstop could have more home runs than prime Chris Davis, which was
that does not seem real. That's not acceptable. I'm not accepting that. That's not a possible reality. Chris Davis in his prime felt like, borderline, McGuire Bonds-esque at one point about a decade ago. So I do not accept that. That is not real. Gunnar Henderson has 18 home runs, is 2/3 of the way to his 27.5 total, basically, from before the season. So what he has done this year has been eye-opening. And I think with him a third into the season doing what he's doing and maintaining himself at the leaderboard, atop the leaderboard, what does the average baseball fan do? Google home run leaders, batting average leaders, strikeout leader, things like that. So you're going to keep seeing his name. He's doing the media appearances with Barstool. Big Cat's tweeting about him now. It is crazy to watch his ascension as such a chill dude, but such a fun personality as well. And obviously, as fun of a baseball player as there can be, the play he made yesterday in the loss, that 8-3 loss across the diamond casually while Cole Irvin's talking about, adopting dogs from Barks. Gunnar Henderson just making his third web gem in the last week, just making crazy plays in all aspects. Haven't seen much of it. It hasn't really had to make crazy plays as a base runner lately. But that he has that in his bag. The opportunity hasn't quite been there, but just doing it in every possible way. So Brandon Hyde running out of good things to say about Gunnar. He gets asked about it every day. So we'll say all the good things about Gunnar. I mean, we love the guy. What more could you want from a baseball player at 22 years old? Nothing. He's as good as it gets.
Yeah, he's the best. I don't know what else there is to say. He's my favorite person.
Paradox Will here. What was that gift wrap non-call from the ump on the first pitch before the grand slam? Did the ump fall asleep or something? He honestly might have had an out-of-body experience where he's like, oh, I definitely called that a strike. I mean, that was not even close to being questionable. I don't think it even started outside the zone. It didn't look like. It was truly, almost middle. It was closer to being middle than it was to being a ball. So definitely maybe turned things around a little bit and, gotten Crawford's head a little maybe and caused him to float one there. But if you hang it, Gunnar Henderson will certainly bang it as he did.
Yeah. He turned on that one. I was going to say it's his job, but it literally is his job. The umpire, the review, again, it ended up not mattering, but that review with Jorge at third, what are they looking at? I don't know if you saw it. I thought he was clearly safe when they showed the replay and you could see Mateo get in there. And it's just these I said earlier, they don't deserve rights. I think every umpire should be doxxed. They're terrible. Absolutely terrible. But again, it ended up not mattering.
Somebody has to do it, but Lord have mercy. The challenge system in baseball is not working. It was a strike him out, throw him out. James McCann strikes out swinging. And really, I'll say Wong deserved that to be a throwout because he had to throw behind James McCann, who was a righty, striking out, throwing behind him to third base. So in my book, that deserved to be because of that. I'll give Wong that throwout on his stats there. He certainly deserved that. It was close, but yeah, it looked like Jorge did the swim, got the hand in, the hand comes up, whatever. They just don't overturn anything unless it's deadly obvious bad. And it feels like they don't even get to challenges at that point. Just deferring to the field at this point. It's stupid. I'm sure it'll be addressed in the offseason, but the whole point is to have those now so that maybe in a playoff game or a game that decides someone to go to the playoffs, you don't get screwed on the reality not being called correctly. So, it was a sick throw, but yeah, Jorge Mateo probably safe there.
Yeah. Oh, well, but again, I still liked what I saw out of him and the walk. And again, despite the funky play in the first inning or second inning or whatever that was. But yeah, again, overall, it was a good series overall, again, except for everyone. I guess Keegan Aiken.
I'm going to call you out here. You said right before we hopped on, you're like, that was kind of a boring series.
It was a boring series. It was just the game Monday awesome, but it doesn't feel that game feels like it was 3 weeks ago. It just with the holiday and I don't know, the weird work week. I'm like that game basically didn't happen. But here we go. Good quote here.
It was pretty much 3 shellackings, more or less. By the seventh inning, usually if it's close in the seventh inning, that means you've got, a ball game on your hands. And sometimes, they'll not be close and then they are. That just doesn't seem to happen with the Orioles. If it's decided by the seventh inning, they lose or win, and there hasn't been, dramatic comebacks at this point. And then again, it was 11-3, 8-3, and then 6-1. So makes sense. I think a lot of Orioles fans will take that. Cole Irvin, pitching a damn gem. The Orioles had a 5-run inning on Monday. They had 2 2-run innings, and I think the Red Sox might have had a 4-run inning, something like that. And then today, the Orioles have the big second inning 5 runs. So I will say one thing from this series: being able to have an inning, not just a home run in an inning, is progress. The Orioles being able to milk some at-bats, draw some walks, hit the ball into play. Felt like they're slapping some singles a little bit more so. Definitely not seeing as many pop-ups. I don't have numbers on those, but eye test tells me we're not seeing, 50 pop-ups to freaking second base, which has been an issue. Them getting under balls. So I think they're dropping the bat a little bit, swinging a little easier, and just trying to hit the ball into play a little bit more. So if this past kind of week, maybe 10 days, about 4 days ago, dating back from maybe 14 days of the Orioles' offensive struggles, if that was their big struggle of this season and they've already had their eureka, they might win a lot more than 105 games. I don't know. They could be in 110 territory because it feels like they were able to self-correct. And Brian Bayo was filthy all game yesterday. He does, as he goes through the order I saw on the broadcast, he's worst first time through, gets better second and third. But, I mean, the Red Sox pitching staff is good. They are good. They are all three of those starters are, pretty damn solid. The Orioles were able to do big-time damage in 2 games. So very impressed with their ability to right the ship and right their wrongs and self-correct that quickly. And you have to give credit to the coaching staff who certainly is on top of that too.
Yeah, and again, I didn't even think about it, but I mean, the big turning point in yesterday's game was the bases loaded, no outs for the Orioles, and how horribly wrong that went. For as bad as those at bats were yesterday, that's how good the at bats were today. When in that one inning, again, obviously it wasn't all with the bases loaded, but again, they were able to put together really good at bats, capped off by the McCann walk, where I guess he bat flipped too after his walk, which is great. And then again, Gunnar with the exclamation mark. But it was nice that again they didn't let that oh crap, we got the bases loaded, here we go again thing. And they kind of put the game to bed early. And again, nothing really threatening after that. And yeah, like you were saying too, Bella was really good. It was like a strikeout. I mean, they were going strikeout for strikeout yesterday. Him and Grayson. He
was wicked after that the second inning. He was really wicked. Grayson was good, but Bella was really, really, really impressive. Able to go left, right, and down is tough. He can spin it both ways across the plate, and then has that sinker that has bite. So super young pitcher. That's a fun match. I mean, Grayson and Bella are both super talented. Bella not quite as highly touted of a prospect, if I recall correctly, but was highly regarded, and guys that should be staples in the AL East for a long time to come here. And then Cole Irvin on Monday, really, 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 really good outing. I know that a lot of Orioles fans, you were tweeting some bullshit about oh my God, I can't even. Oh my God, what is his name? Vieira, whatever his name is.
Oh, that guy stinks.
I mean, give him a break. It was his first outing in a blowout. They're messing with him. They're messing with him. You were like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I was like, shut up, Eric.
I got something he could experiment with. That dude stinks.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah, you sick.
11-0. Just come in and throw strikes, buddy. I think he threw 26 pitches, 9 strikes.
All right. Bring back freaking Fujinami. But I don't want to get through here. Shintaro, baby. I don't want to get through here without talking about Cole Irvin, who threw 5 scoreless, 4 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Was able to rein it in, especially with runners on base. He's just been competitive, and that damn curveball looks back. I feel like I was looking at the break, and it looks like he has more of a kind of horizontal breaking curveball than he used to when he was with Oakland, a little bit more so. But got to give that guy so many flowers, man, especially bumping back down into the bullpen again, comes right back up, and then just shoves again. He's been outstanding. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and say you can't possibly remove him from your rotation. He is not the 6th guy. He's probably not even the 5th guy. He is pitching as well as anyone is right now in this Orioles rotation. Just absolute stud stuff. So, yeah, Irvin, so strong. Grayson, didn't pitch. Orioles starters in this series, fantastic. Really, really, really good stuff. Grayson able to rein it in. Wasn't, his best day, but sets his career high in strikeouts. And then Corbin Burnes, I think that was his 3rd start against the AL East, and has like a sub-1 ERA at this point. So the Orioles now in the AL East. Last year, they went 32-20. This year so far, 5-1 against Boston with 2 series. They take the first series against the Yankees 3-1, and then obviously split with the Jays and had that hairy game to keep the streak alive, which has since ended. But the Orioles have been utterly, utterly, utterly dominant. what is that? 41-23 since the beginning of last year. 41-23 against the AL East, I believe. So they have certainly honed in on their divisional opponents, and I think they understand the assignment of playing in this division with the payrolls and the legacies and the history, and being able to navigate them smoothly, calmly, confidently with a really young team with a lot of young talent.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I mean, every game obviously counts, but the divisional ones, man, those are the ones that you got to have. You absolutely have to. And again, you know, a team like the Red Sox, it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty clear that it's the Orioles and the Yankees, and that's what it's going to be this summer. And the rest of the AL East guys, we've been there plenty of times. It's just who can play spoiler. You know, who is going to be the team that stops one team from winning the division, because it's the Orioles and the Yankees. They are two loaded trains, just kind of headed for this, you know, head-on collision that we're just going to see all summer. And the other teams are just going to try and kind of stay around and hang out there. And again, the same thing with this Rays team coming up. This is a team that you should assert your dominance on and really kind of put your foot on their throat and just let them know. I think I said it a couple weeks ago, but like, adults are talking. Like, we're at the grown-ups table now. So that's what the AL East is. It's the grown-ups table, and there's two chairs, and it's the Orioles and Yankees. So, but again, these are the series you got to win, and again, you were scoreboard watching already. I mean, Pete, you're lying if you're not. You know, people are rooting for the Angels now, taking on the Yankees, and again, it's just it's good to have these series. I think they said 18 divisional series in a row that the Orioles have won, which is that may be more impressive than the sweep streak. That's what really matters. You're muted.
That is impressive, certainly, for sure. 18 straight, and again, what was that, 41-23? So really, really, really dominant stuff. Wanted to do a quick whip around in some other regards of the MLB. Wanted to pull up a certain former Orioles closer who was traded, and some comments that he made post game here. So going to go ahead and pull that up here, and hopefully the audio should be coming through. And here we go.
Carlos Mendoza said that he understands the emotion, but that particular action of throwing your glove into the stands was unacceptable. Looking back on it, do you regret doing that?
No, I don't regret it. I think I've been looking the worst team in probably in the whole MLB. So, you know, whatever happened. So whatever they want to do, I'll be tomorrow here if they want me. You know, whatever they want to do. So I'm gonna keep doing this thing. You know, so I'm healthy on whatever. You know, on whatever to do. You know, I'm ready to come back tomorrow, and if they want me to be here, so I'll be here.
He will not be there. He's already been DFA'd. He's already been cut.
Jorge Lopez.
I also think he said teammate. I don't think he said on the worst fucking team in MLB. He said teammate. That's what I thought he said.
I don't know. Whatever he said, it was hilarious. The Mets have DFA'd Jorge Lopez. Hashtag bring back Jorge Lopez. Why not? I mean, why not?
No.
Why not?
No. Well, how funny is it that did you
Norfolk.
see the
people come back to Norfolk, hang out for a little while?
They did it last year, and he was awful. They tried it already, and you saw that McKenna was already DFA'd too, right? Out in San Francisco.
Jeremy Vagrant here in the comments again said no. They asked him for clarification, and he doubled down that the Mets are the worst fucking team in the MLB.
I know he said that. I know the guy asked him for clarification, but if you look, the reporters, there a bunch of them have deleted their tweets and like where they said that he said it was the worst fucking team in the bigs or whatever. I think he said the worst. Either way, he's not lying.
They're the worst team in the
He's not wrong either one. The Mets are bad. And you know what? This is what they get for blaming Buck for everything and dogging our guy Buck. So you hate to see it. Maybe it wasn't Buck. Maybe it's just the Mets.
An interesting
could have seen this coming. Frank was right.
An interesting case study on a hedge fund manager, private equity guy coming in and then just dumping money without any sort of direction and not getting results. And now the comments before the season coming out of the Cohen camp were that they were not going to do that anymore. They are not planning on spending the way that they were. They don't want to pay the luxury tax without really having a plan in place or worrying about the development of their players. You cannot buy a championship, I think, is the sentiment that Uncle Steve up there in good old New York has shown. So Jorge Lopez, sorry that you had to play for the Mets, my friend. The tossing of the glove was spectacular there. And yeah, great form. Just a nice exclamation point on what the New York Mets are in present day there. So I thought that was very interesting. 3 dogs of the series. Eric, start with you.
I'll take this one. This seems appropriate. We'll go Cole Irvin. Guy is a dog. And if you haven't seen, he is trying to save a bunch of dogs. He's hosting an event tomorrow, actually. I don't know if everyone heard the news of, I guess they found 83 cats and dogs, kind of in very, very, very rough shape in a row home. And Barks has taken them all in, and they do not have room for them. So Cole Irvin is hosting an event tomorrow. I think it's 3:30 to 6 at Barks, where if you come in and adopt a dog, I believe all the fees are waived. You'll get a picture with Cole. You can get an autograph, I think. Even with like donations for towels, blankets, shampoos
Crates,
for these dogs, pee pads. Anything. Yes.
So paper towels, whatever you can do, definitely get down there. I mean, it's summertime. It's hot. If you have been on the fence about adopting a dog, now's a good time to do it. Summertime's always great. It's easy to take the dog out. You can wear your flip-flops and go walk your dog if you need to. So going down to Barks and support a good cause. If you have anything you can donate, you certainly should. As the good folks at Barks are trying to do the best they can, and Cole Irvin certainly doing his part to get those dogs in some good homes. A lot of cutie pies down there. It's very sad, very heartbreaking. Almost adopted a dog a couple weeks ago, actually, from Barks.
Here we go, too. I got more of the information. He said, starting Wednesday through Sunday, if you sign up to be a foster, you will be entered to win a raffle to win 2 tickets behind home plate on the field Orioles BP passes and Orioles prize package. And they're trying to come up with a couple other things. And then, again, if you do have more information on it or want more information, it's barks.org/pitch-in/. So again, he's been pumping it out. I had a tweet about it. Barks has put it all over their social. So really good. Again, a great gesture by a guy who, again, was a dog himself on Monday and really got it out. We didn't even talk about that. He had like a bases loaded, was it no outs situation on Monday? And that's before the game got blown out of hand. So he really hunkered down and again, that was a big time at bat there, or sequence there for him. But again, I thought that deserved my dog of the week for Cole Irvin. So good for him.
Yeah, he got himself out of a precarious situation there. Struck out Dominic Smith and Ceddanne Rafaela. I believe it was Rafael Devers singled, Garrett Cooper singled, Romy Gonzalez bunted into a sack bunt, and then Vaughn Grisham walked to load the bases. There's 1 out because of the sack, and then got 2 strikeouts to rein that game in. So he has been nothing short of a dog, absolutely. So your dog of the week. I was going to give mine. I'm going to throw the other 2 starters in, and I'm just going to say all 3 starters for dog of the week for me. Again, Grayson, loved him reining it back in, getting strikeouts, making adjustments, being an adult, being a grown man, being a grown pitcher for a younger pitcher there with, still not a full season of experience under his belt in terms of how many games and innings he's thrown. So then Corbin Burnes, it felt like today there was a point where Corbin was starting to play with them. Like he was playing with his food a little bit. It got a little hairy, I think, in the 6th inning. I think he had a couple on. But I think around the 4th and the 5th, he was feeling it. He was getting ahead early and often. He threw a 2-seam at one point, which is not something traditionally in his arsenal. He broke something right across the face that was devastating. Started throwing the sinker a tiny bit more there. And it felt like he really was in control. And the 1 run was unearned. The fucking goof pickle going on out there with Cowser overthrowing Gunnar by like 40 feet. And then the pickoff, the ball getting punted. I mean, good Lord.
So weird.
They gave 180 feet to Colton Wong there. So it was goofy as hell.
Connor Wong, not your guy, Colton Wong.
Or excuse me. Yeah. Connor Wong. There we go. So I'm gonna go with the whole pitching staff. Who you got for the final dog of the series here?
I'm gonna go Pandas. Daddy David is bringing the pandas back home. I don't know if everyone saw that. I had no clue that the panda exhibit at the Smithsonian National Zoo is the David M. Rubenstein Panda House.
Oh, I didn't know that full part of it.
Yeah, look at that's literally I've been to that zoo a billion times, had no clue. And I mean, I'll send you the picture. I mean, the tweet I sent out a tweet earlier. If you go, I just Googled Rubenstein pandas and there's pictures of him holding baby pandas on Google. Like this, I mean, it's incredible.
The
It's
Panda
great.
Man himself, the pandemonium of David.
The pandemonium. You got the pandas with Banks and Taylor and their group too. But I mean, how could you not be jacked up about the pandas? So here, I'm gonna send it. I'm sending it to you.
In the meantime, I'm gonna. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. I'm gonna pull up the pitch in information here as well. See if I can find it. I don't know. I messed it up, but regardless, definitely go check that out. And yeah, we got Jake in the comments here. Libstool RDT supporting the Pandas. Just have some class, Jake. Have some couth.
Is liking pandas a lib move?
According to Jake.
Oh, of course. Yeah. All right, Jakey Poo. Good old Jake.
All right, I got this picture right here.
Send in the chat if you want my updated one of it.
Okay, I'll try and pull it up here, but that's spectacular. That's unbelievable. Rubenstein, truly a panda connoisseur. The David Rubenstein Panda House. Let's see. All right, a little filibustering here as I navigate. There we go. I'm just gonna go to the full Google search here. Actually, we got him.
Look at that.
There's multiple here. Take a look. He's got the gloves on. That is not an amateur of the pandas. You can tell. Look at him. Philanthropy, pandas.
Look at that. Those are the 4 P's that I live by.
The 4 P's. Look at this. $20 million gift. Featured guest. Look at Uncle Davey here. Look at Uncle Davey and the great things he's doing. So yeah, Panda House, the puppies, it barks. The Orioles are just dogs on the field, helping the dogs off the field, dog in the Red Sox, dog in the AL East. I don't know how much more there is to say, but Eric, I mean, gonna be a wild time, I think, at Camden Yards. 40,000 on Sunday. Huge, biggest non-opening day, I think, since the beginning of last year. We got Ebo up in here. Family going crazy for Ebo. Gunnar going crazy for Ebo, for Big Cat. So 40,000 on Sunday. That was sick. That was awesome. Monday, pardon me. I'm being an idiot. Monday. And then home, good weather, possibly. AL East opponent here as the Orioles are continuing their absolute war path, starting with the Red Sox. Rays Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Jays Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then to Tampa Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The Orioles will be playing the AL East from the 27th of May through the 10th of June. Straight AL East with 1 day off there. So it's a dog world out there. As Paradox Will says here, the Orioles have showed to be the top dog in the AL East. Dude, I am fired up for this. Especially the Blue Jays series it felt like they were maybe the thorn in the Orioles' heel or side, and Bo Bichette and what he's been able to do against the Orioles. So I'm fired up for that one. Like you said, they should be able to get into this Rays team that's floundering. Really, I mean, Wander Franco and that whole situation, I think, has gotten swept under the rug of how devastating him doing whatever weird shit he was doing was to them as a franchise. That would basically be like just taking Gunnar Henderson off the Orioles right now. Just gone, bye-bye. He's not there anymore. I mean, the Orioles probably one of the best, arguably the team most well-equipped to handle something like that with all the prospect talent that they have. But I'll pull up starters here in a second. But just thoughts on the Rays and their current state as the Orioles are going to see them this weekend.
Yeah, it's weird because we never really see them have a year like that. I mean, they have a run differential of -50. I mean, it's bad. Like that's just not the Rays. And again, we're used to them making chicken salad out of chicken shit, and they have the biggest chicken shit, on their plate right now. Like you said, they really have not been able to rebound from the Wander stuff. And I mean, where they started at 13-0 last year, and we were like, oh, this division. Everyone's playing for the wild card spot. There's no chance anyone catches them. And then again, lo and behold, the Orioles just stayed afloat all year. I don't know. I mean, I was thinking about that the other day. They're just in a weird spot. In the manager, in Kevin Cash's manager's manual, there's no like what to do if you're short. What do you do if your shortstop's a pedophile? You just that part of the book is not there. but yeah, they're having their first kind of down year in a while, and they just nothing is clicking for them. And again, they trade Glass now, and they get some other guys, but it's just they're just a weird team. And again, they were kind of due for a regret and winning it, and the loss of Wander definitely helps that. But yeah, weird season for them. And again, they're a team that we were just saying how it's weird they still haven't played them, but you're hoping that you get 2 out of 3, or as a team, again, I think you can really assert your dominance on and sweep and just send a message out early and keep this run against the division alive. And again, just good stuff happens when you win division games. Simple as that.
Yeah, they've really struggled with Eflin on the IL right now. Savale has been really disappointing for them. 5.72 ERA across 11 starts. Tyler Alexander, 6.06 ERA. Ryan Pipo has been kind of banged up a couple times, but has been able to rein it in a little bit. Zach Littell has been pretty nails so far and having a nice little year for himself as a ERA plus of 1.26. Getting it done with 9 strikeouts an inning as well. So his whip's a little up there, but someone that's been able to get some big strikeouts. But yeah, Peter Wild here. They just had 3 guys get TJ. They're kind of crumbling right now, and could see the Rays really spiraling. You feel for, Kevin Cash, one of the best managers in baseball, most certainly. Like you said, being able to maximize some less than stellar teams and talent and payroll and all of those kinds of things. But yeah, Orioles going to see them twice in a 10-day period here. Less than that, actually. So two full series there with the Jays wedged in between.
3-7 in their last 10. That's a team that the Orioles want to face. That's I think they're catching the Rays at a perfect time. Like I said, should be great. I think it's going to be good weather this weekend. Should have some awesome crowds out there. The Santander bobblehead on Saturday. That should be. I think
they're giving out a lot of them too. I think so. It was like 15,000 bobbleheads. Pretty good number.
They need to. Again, I think they'll get some really, really good crowds there. And again, they need it. This is a series where it's basically we're into after Memorial Day. Come on out, get to the ballpark, get your Tony bobblehead, and again, just give the Rays hell and just again keep backing the guys and
definitely want them to feel the environment. 75 degrees on Friday, no rain. Saturday 79 degrees, Sunday 82. So it's going to be quite a nice weekend in Baltimore to go catch a game.
I was thinking about even trying to get down there, when they're down in Tampa. I think that would be a fun little come take over the ballpark experience down in Tampa. Could be fun.
That would be a lot of fun. Tyler here said, just joined. Sorry if you already spoke on this, but could the Orioles get Jorge Lopez for cash considerations? Eric's a very big fan of this move, and he said he would actually maybe consider parting ways with a Cole Irvin or maybe a Ryan Mountcastle to get Jorge Lopez.
I am very out on that. Again, we did this song and dance last year towards the end of the year. Did not work. Thanks for your time. You got back Cano and Cade Povich. I think that wasn't that the trade, Povich and Cano back for which again famously Buster Olney gave that trade an F- for the Orioles. So again,
his tune has changed. His tune has certainly changed there. So yeah, Jorge Lopez struggling a lot, having a tough night. Feel for him. He was a darling of Baltimore. Sad to see him, get traded out, but Uncle Mike up there in the warehouse knows what he's doing a little bit. So a funny situation today going down with Jorge as the Orioles put a funny grand slam. Gunnar Henderson gets it done. Orioles win 6-1, 11-3 on Monday, lose 1, 8-3 on Tuesday, and win 2 out of 3 against your fighting Boston Red Sox. So with that, Eric, any closing thoughts here?
Good series win. Again, sometimes boring series or good series, and again, just keep on winning. We didn't chance about the mop on over the weekend, one up from a sweep, but this is just what this team continues to do, and they've done it for 2 calendar years now. Just truck along and pretty much demolish anything in their way. Except if it's in October. But again, I think we'll even talk Bradish too. We have to give Bradish his props for Sunday because that was incredible. That was awesome.
He looks so filthy with the sinker instead of the 4-seam. So
can't believe it.
Filthy. So
I
filthy.
legitimately can't believe it that he's pitching this well.
We took the UCL, and I'm going to knock on wood. Just keep that little rubber band in there. Keep that band and that elbow together. But we basically took that news internally. I remember in the group text, it's like, okay, we'll see Kyle Bradish in 2025, maybe 2026. Like, we're like, okay, he's done. All right, see you later. Great. That sucks. Him and Felix both. So for him to be doing before June, before Memorial Day, by a day, what he did was nuts. Absolutely nuts. And hey, the White Sox are dog shit. They stink. Their lineup sucks. But not like he hasn't looked filthy before that. Not like he hasn't looked like a whole, I don't want to say a new man, but even more confident and devastating, again, with that sinker instead of the four-seam. Four-seam was his bozo by far pitch that he was trying to throw like more as a Mendoza, like keep you in check than anything they're recording out. So that adjustment has been huge for him. And man, oh man, I mean, Bradish, Irvin, Rodriguez, and Burnes, 4 pretty damn good starters between Means, Kramer, Suarez, maybe a Cade Povich. The Orioles have plenty of time to. They don't even need to do anything. I mean, you have guys, you have options. It's not even anything drastic. You can let Means and Kramer ice. You have Suarez. You can pull somebody up if needed. All that kind of stuff. So the Orioles starters are in a great place. And I mean, hey man, before the Burnes trade, you're looking at it like Dean's probably a 4 on a lot of teams. Bradish was really good. But, the Bradish news also came before the Burnes trade. And you're like, they didn't really do much. And then suddenly you're looking at a pretty damn good rotation. I would say, I'd go as far as to say, it hasn't been consistently the same guys, but definitely one of the best in the AL, if not all the MLB so far.
100%. I think you nailed that.
100%. Well, with that, give us 100% likes. Go like this video on YouTube, subscribe. Easiest way to support the boys. Thank you to everybody who voted for the Best of Baltimore, Baltimore Magazine, all that good stuff. For Eric, Brian, Taylor, Jake, myself, and the podcast. Really appreciate you guys. We'll see what happens with the voting on that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. The Orioles have a fun weekend at the Yard. Get down there. We'll definitely be at the center field bar. Eric, I think we're planning on going Friday night. See if a couple of the other fellows are down as well. So come meet up, have a beer, talk about the game a little bit, and talk about the O's, talk about life, whatever it is. Jake desperately asking you here on his ride home back to the old Timonium to like and subscribe. So thank you guys so much for listening. Until next time, see ya.